Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's DJ Racha. I'm doing a review on Skyzoo and Torae's latest collaboration album, Bearer Brothers, this week. Really cool if you're looking for that old school hip hop flow, if you're looking for intricate flows, intricate rhymes, that golden era, that boom bap sound. Definitely really some really cool things they've got going on. For me, myself, actually, I just finished a project I'm filming over at the Haight district in San Francisco this weekend. Beats from the concrete. I'm laying down the beat as we speak and just doing the editing, but some really cool things I'll be releasing in the next few weeks. But yeah, to get back to this album, Torae, the last time we saw him was on Mission of Guilt, where he actually collaborated with Skyzoo on Cash Still Rules. Well, Skyzoo, the last tape he came out with was an ode to Reasonable Doubt, which, as many may know, was Jay-Z's first album. Really cool. Actually, that was produced with A.M. Wonder, who actually has feature production on this album as well. So if you're looking for two Brooklyn Emcees, obviously, you know, you're gonna get those hard raps. They've both been around through Scat Selecta. You talk about Ninth Wonder. You see production throughout this album from Black Milk to Jaleel Beats, Illmind, DJ Premier, Crisis. You also have feature production from Living Proof, Blue, Shaw Stimuli, Blue. You also have Sean Price and Guilty Simpson. For me personally, actually, I would say Guilty Simpson takes the show for features. But yeah, I mean, it starts off with a real deep jazz flow with the beats. You also see a snippet from the movie New Jack City, and then it drops in the talk of the town, where they talk about how they're the talk of the town when it comes to New York, especially Brooklyn. Honestly, the way that this album lays out, I see it as like what Slaughterhouse is trying to do, but honestly, just at a different level, a little bit more direction than Slaughterhouse. Maybe because they had more heads in it, for comparison to two. But I mean, this two-man crew goes hard in every track. Like say on the next track, they have called "Make You a Believer," and they talk about how their grind is going out there, making a believer, working for their fans, and showing that with their hard raps, why they are where they are, and how they continuously are proving to the listener why they are where they are. And then you go from Tunnel Vision on the next track. You're looking at some really dark, trippy boom bap. My favorite part, though, especially if you're from the Bay, has a sample from Diggable Planets, We Beat to Rap with Key Beat a Lock, which was also used by E40. But this one, it's a little less of a clubby track and more of a darker tone. Some really cool stuff it's got going on. I love that beat. Honestly, that's probably my favorite track on this album. If there's one track I would definitely recommend you check out, it is Tunnel Vision. Then you have also All in This Together, produced by Black Milk, who's actually one of my more favorite producers. You can see him, what is it, right here? I've gone all out through my wall. And it actually has like a random acts feel to it. Also features Guilty Simpson and Sean Price. They go through stimulated what basically that they're all in this together. What would happen to them if something happened to them? What would they do to you? Or what in certain scenarios? They definitely play the role. But if you've ever seen Random Acts, definitely the same type of a feel. Which honestly, it completely touches everything in the album. It really is very cohesive. Random Acts would be like their twin brother or their distant cousin who hangs out with a lot. Yeah, so if you're ever looking for that type of a feel. But the only disappointment, I won't even say it's a disappointment, it's just a little bit too irritating or repetitive. They have a skit what they call movie album. And like I said, this album has the same vibe, really controlled vibe in it, which is really cool because it gets you in the mindset as you're listening to it. And they give you an idea that they're going to make a movie album, more like a concept album, which is cool. But I'm not gonna lie, like you bragging on how it's a movie album, it kind of turns me off. Not that it turns me off, just the repetitiveness. I could have done it without the hook, but I guess it's a skit. It's 3 minutes long, 2-3 minutes long. Um, but it's not a bad track at all. It's just everything else shines on this track. Uh, and then you're talking about like a little bit later, Crisis comes in on the production, and he flips the same sample that was used in Nas's shootouts from the album It Was Written, and the track's called The Handoff, and which I think is symbolic because the handoff talks about them growing up with hip hop, and then they're rhyming off a sample that Nas uses as well, which I can guarantee you, both them being from Brooklyn, that was a huge influence on them growing up. The rapping styles, I mean, everybody from New York is definitely has a little sprinkle of Nas in them. But yeah, some really cool stuff, some old back throwback. And then it ends with some production as well from DJ Premier, The Aura, where you see them rapping about, they do this for the aura, they want to maintain what they grew up with and have it evolve into what it is now in 2014, to show that what happened in 95 is still relevant now, with Nas, Jay-Z, how they still bring it there. And I mean, what better producer to have that on than DJ Premier? So it's a real smooth DJ Premier track. If you're a big Primo fan like me, it's real easy to tell a Primo track once it comes off. But yeah, some real smooth stuff. I'm very excited that I was able to review this album. Like I said, I would put this up there with maybe top 2, top 3 albums that have come out this year. If you're into that boom bap sound, I would definitely give it a listen to. Some really cool stuff. If you haven't followed Torae or Skyzoo before, there's some really cool cats, really dope raps, dope rhymes. Like Fonte once said, dope rhymes, dope beats. I mean, how hard can this hip hop thing be? And they definitely prove it that they go hard in the paint. But yeah, man, that was my review of Skyzoo and Torae, Barrel Brothers. Check them out, be sure. I'll provide the links down there. Also, if you want to check out from the beats that you've been hearing on this video, I produce music. I'll be throwing it down there as well to the links. Check them out, and be sure to check out Beats from the Concretes, which I'll be releasing in the next couple of weeks. Some really cool things I got going on. And peace out.